Hey everybody, it's Chris Eves, known online as Wootini, with another Gay Gamer video podcast for you. This week, I, like all the other gamers, went to see the Super Mario Galaxy movie. I went to see it in 3D, of course. It's hard to describe what it's about. Because it's less of a story than a bunch of Nintendo references and Easter eggs loosely strung together by something vaguely resembling a plot. Basically, Princess Rosalina is captured by Bowser's son, and then Peach goes to rescue her, and then Mario and Luigi go to help. And that's basically it. But you're not going to this for the plot and character development, though they do sort of feint at some character development for Bowser, but then they're like, nah, never mind. People aren't here for that. And they just kind of drop it. But you're there for the visuals. And the visuals, the animation is spectacular, the visuals are crazy good, and it looks amazing, especially in 3D. This was very clearly meant to be seen in 3D. Like, there are things coming out the screen all the time. It's fabulous. So if you plan on seeing this, I recommend seeing it in 3D because it really helps with the visual impact, because you're not going for the story. You're going for the visuals, so the 3D will make the visuals amazing. I do sort of wish that character's appearance was not spoiled. I'm not going to say it, even though you all know who it is. I can't spoil it. It's already been spoiled all over the internet. Because it would have been a fun surprise to see this character. But there are a bunch more references. I mean, like, I'm not a huge Mario fan, so I know I'm not getting them all. I did get this, like, I never played Super Mario Galaxy, so I won't get any Super Mario Galaxy references. Though I feel like there aren't a lot. It felt like that to me. I don't know. There's a few Super Mario Odyssey references that I got because I recognized locations and characters and things because I played that one. But there are also a few, there are a couple, I won't say what they are, but there were a few other references, like just little cameos that popped up that made me laugh. But again, it's not a story, it's just a bunch of references and Easter eggs, so that's enjoyable. It is basically, I read a review of it that compared it to a theme park ride, where it's great fun while you're watching it and experiencing it, and then once it's done, you're like, okay, maybe I'll go again. I don't know. But that is a good apt comparison, because it's a lot of fun while you're watching it, but the minute you leave the theater, it's like gone from your brain. You're not like, oh my god, that was so amazing, I have to see it again. Like, it's fun, but it's nothing like groundbreaking or amazing, which is sad, because a little more effort, you could make an actual script instead of just a bunch of Nintendo references. I will say that you want to stay for the credits. There is a mid-credit scene, which I feel like I already saw, so I think it was in a trailer somewhere. It's weirdly dark, but funny. But then, I feel like I saw it in a trailer. So I'm like, why are you spoiling a mid-credits bumper in the trailer? But after the whole credits, there is one last little moment where they introduce a character that you knew was coming. So it's like, okay, yes. It's not like, oh my god, it's just, yes. But yeah, I'm assuming that you've all seen it, because it's Mario, and everybody's going to see Mario this weekend. They're clearly making another. This thing's going to make a buttload of money. It'll be interesting to see what happens when they run out of Nintendo references to make. I'm looking forward to someday them having to scrape so far to the bottom of the barrel that we get some Animal Crossing. That's my dream. Maybe in the next one. They'll get desperate enough. As for games, I did finally finish Lady's final friendship quest in Disney Dreamlight Valley, so I am done with that. Though interestingly, in doing that, I had to go into the castle for a minute, and there were these spaghetti balls rolling around the castle, so I had to go and capture them. And so while I was finishing her friendship quest, I was also starting this other quest with the spaghetti incident, I think it was called, yeah, which is cute. And then I finished that, and that started this started unlocking a memory about that dog collar that you found way back at the beginning of Lady and Tramp's quests. And then there was a thing with meatballs in people's houses that you have to clean up, and that gets you the second part, but not the third yet. And it was fine. It was there where at the end of the second part where you remember this dog collar is very familiar, and then it's like, and then you remember, I remember this being very important to me and Mickey, and I'm like, oh right, that'll be Pluto then, because we've seen, at least I've seen in one of the videos promoting the next update with Pocahontas, there was a shot of Pluto. So I'm like, that's what this dog collar is. It's setting up Pluto, but the third part won't be until the new update this coming week. Then it won't just be Pocahontas' friendship quest. I thought, it'll be nice to just have to do one friendship quest line. No, you'll have Pluto as well, so you'll have two. But I also did finally dive into the story quest in the new update in Infinity Nikki with the fairy tales, and it was just as freaking weird as I expected it to be. It's basically like they said, let's take like Little Red Riding Hood and Sleeping Beauty and Snow White and whatever, and like just make them as weird as we can possibly make them. Like you have all these random weird characters talking like they're in a dream. So like what they're saying like doesn't actually make sense because it's like in a dream or a nightmare, and it's all crazy. But then somehow they do still get the point across, even though it doesn't make sense. Really, it's hard to explain. It's very dreamlike. It's very weird. It's very dark. But I did finish it. Along the way, I discovered the mini game. One of them. Because, to get the free outfit, you have to do all the different things. And one of the things you have to do is finish different levels of the mini games. And so I finally found the first mini game, which is a cute little puzzle one with little mirrors that you use to erase the enemies. And that was fine. It's a nice little puzzle game. Then I got to the end of the story where you have to get to Mom's secret lab or whatever, and to do so you have to do this weird platforming thing where some of the platforms are invisible, so you have to like touch these crystals that give you the power to see the hidden platforms, but only for a short period of time, and then they go away, so you have to kind of get across the platforms to the next crystal so you can continue on your way. And it was super frustrating. I got so annoyed because I kept not knowing where to go next, and I would try to go here, and I'd fall to my death, and I'd go there, and I'd fall to my death, and it was super annoying. Then I got, like, towards the end, and then I'm like, I don't know how to proceed. I don't know how to get up to that platform. And then I remembered, oh, right, I have to use my grappling hook. Because I read the instructions the night before, and then I said, this is too much. I don't have time for this. I'll do it tomorrow. So the next day, I go to do it, but it doesn't repeat the instructions, and I, in 24 hours, forgot that it told you that you should also use your grappling hook. And I had to figure that out for myself, so it took a little time. Because I'm stupid. But then I finished that, and then, of course, you get to wear the Red Riding Hood outfit, because they always like to let you wear the outfit that you can get with the resonance crystals to see if you want to spend money on it. And it does look cool, but I don't care enough. And then you have your boss fight, and then you fight the boss, and then you're done. And then I'm like, yay, now it's just side things and doing side things to get that free outfit. Unfortunately, it turns out that I also unlocked the other mini game, and the other mini game is the fucking invisible platform thing. And I'm like, I didn't even enjoy doing that once as part of the main quest, and now I have to do multiple levels of it for fun to get the free outfit. That's not fun. That's going to annoy the fuck out of me. So yeah, I'm going to see if there's other things I can do in the list so that I don't have to do that, because that was kind of irritating. I did play a lot of Ghost of Yotei at the beginning of the week, then less later on. So I did actually finally say, I did wrap up everything else going on around in the background, and I did all the farms, and I did all the hideouts, and I cleared everything, and then I said, now let's do the Kitsune quest. Let's go get him. So I went to the inn and did that final quest, which I was hoping would be the final quest, and it actually was. It wasn't like this and then another one after that. This was it. This was the final quest, and you go to his hideout, and then you duel the Kitsune, and it was a challenging boss fight. It took me a couple of tries, I think, just 2. Although, actually, technically 4, because I died, and then I did it again, and then I beat him, skin of my teeth, and then I'm like, yay! And then he's like, I'm escaping. And then there's a second part where you have to defeat him again. And I'm like, fuck. I was not expecting a second level to the boss battle. So that's irritating. I hope they don't all have that. They probably will. Anyway, I died again, but then I defeated him, and then it was done. And I will say that after it was done, I went back to the Red Crane Inn because there was a little icon, and I talked to Master Enomoto or whoever it was, and he's like, come, everyone wants to thank you. And you go out back, and there's all these characters, there's a bunch of characters that you've met throughout the Kitsune quest who basically thank you, and you have little story moments with each one of them where they thank you for helping save their land from the Kitsune and his evil followers. And I was like, oh, this is nice. And you get a shamisen skin at the end. But it was a nice little epilogue, and I'm actually glad that I did all the other stuff before defeating the Kitsune. I did it just so I didn't have to go around and clean up afterwards. But it didn't make it any easier to defeat the Kitsune, which would have been appreciated, but I did it did work nicely as a story, the flow of the story to finish the Kitsune quest and then get the epilogue right away, instead of finishing the Kitsune quest, then doing stuff, and then getting the epilogue. It was nice to get the epilogue right away. So I felt like it flowed better as a story. So I'm glad I did that, and I will be doing that again in the other areas, I think, as well, just to keep that going. But then, as I said, I did not play as much towards the later part of the week because I did not go after the Oni yet. I know that's next, I know I'm supposed to be, but I would sit down to play and I'm like, oh, I've only got 20-30 minutes. I don't want to get involved in a main quest and then have to pause it, and come back tomorrow. So I said, let me just do some little random things. So I'm like, let me go to this fox den, let me go look at this over here, let me go over here. And I was in the main starting area, the plains. There was a whole section that I hadn't explored. So I was doing some side things over here, and then I found these places that were marked as familiar location. And there were little rewards there. And then I found, in this unexplored area, I found this big, beautiful garden with people tending it. And it was all these waterfalls and ponds and rivers and water and trees and flowers. And it was very beautiful. And that was another familiar location. And that I found memory moments where you can find these spots, and then you basically can flash back to Atsu's childhood, where she and her mother are planting these seeds and planting the trees and setting up the fish and everything. And you have all these lovely little flashback memories, and then you flash back into the present, and it all ties together. And then at the end, the guy is a shamisen master, and he teaches you a song. You can find bamboo strikes now, which is nice. But it's just, I'm I should have found this at the beginning of the game, because this is the beginning area of the, and I'm I totally should have done this in the very beginning. But to the story's credit, to the game's credit, I mean, finding it now, later in the story, 40 hours in, it still works to see these little flashbacks and stuff. It works wherever you do it. If I'd done it 40 hours ago, it would have worked. I did it now, it still works. Good for them. I also have been finding, the little altars of reflection and getting the new techniques, so I get the points so I can upgrade all my skills and everything. And I'm now at the point where I'm buying things I don't think I'll probably ever use that ability, but I have the point, I have to use it. But what I did do, I was a little disappointed because I actually said, let me get unlock all the skills for the Yari and the Kusarigama, and then I can go and use the Yari on the persimmon tree and then smash and get the Kusarigama that's stuck in the stone, because I will have upgraded my Kusarigama so I can smash the rock and get it out, and then I can get the master's special Kusarigama. I thought these were like better weapons than what I had. It turns out they are not different weapons. I mean, in the game, they're like, here, take this Kusarigama and use it to destroy the enemies, you know? And I thought, oh, this will be a new, better weapon than what I already have. It's not, it's just a new skin. So that was kind of disappointing and weird, because the game presents it as, here's a new weapon, not here's a new skin. So, awkward. But yeah, I am going after the Oni, I promise. Come back next episode, and I'll tell you about hopefully defeating the Oni, but I will at least have started to try to defeat him. I don't know how many more quests there are before I can, but I will do the next one, I promise. Come back and find out how it went. Bye!